Hi, welcome back to the Logical Report. And right now we have somebody who is on the, I don't know if you've ever heard of her before, but her name is Candace Owens. Now, Candace Owens is a big supporter for the Republican Party. She married the wealthy son of the former treasurer of the Republican Party. Wow. Now, she's a black woman, married a white guy, and every time something out of race comes out, she jumps out and stops everybody. That's part of her job. Her job with the Republican Party is to go ahead and just, whenever someone tries to play race on something, she jumps out. That says it's not racist. Because if a black person says it's not racist, of course it can't be racist. Anyway, here she goes. Let's hear what she's got to say.
So first you are hearing that it is a modern day lynching. That should instantly, if you are a black American, make your ears perk up a little bit, because there are not really modern day lynchings that are taking place in America. There are not lynchings taking place in general. I mean, even at the time, at the height of the civil rights movement, when black people were actually being lynched, it was approximately 3,500 black people that were lynched from the entire period of 1882 all the way up until 1968.
Okay, all right. It's true. There's about 3,500 people, roughly, that were reported lynched throughout history. But let's get a little more accurate. So let's say this. This is more accurate. From 1882 until 1968, there were only about 3,500 black people being lynched reported. The problem is that statistic does not count people who were shot, who were stabbed, who were dragged to death, who were tied to a rock and thrown into a lake, who were dragged behind a truck, who were dragged behind a horse cart when you get before the cars were made. You're trying to equate lynching with murder, and that's not right. Not everything includes a rope. Not every lynching had a rope. You know, the guy who gets his balls cut off and he bleeds to death, that's a lynching in my book, because that's what a lynching is. White people killing black people. That's what modern day lynching is. Modern day lynching is a little bit different nowadays. It is modern day. Here's how it works nowadays. Black people get the police called on them for things that normal people just don't get the police called on them for. Like, for instance, you can get it for operating a lemonade stand, golfing too slowly, barbecuing at a park, waiting on a friend at Starbucks, campaigning door to door, moving into an apartment. These are things that I've done as a white person, and yet black people have the police called on them for doing it. Mowing the lawn, mowing the wrong lawn. I don't know how you do that, but it happens, I guess. Shopping for clothes, napping, asking for directions. You get the police called on you for asking for directions. I would be dead before Google Maps. Then you got like selling bottled water. You remember that one? The little girl selling bottled water. They called the police on her. Eating lunch at a college campus. Babysitting two white kids. They just had two. This guy was babysitting two white kids. They called the cops on him. Wearing a backpack and brushed up against a woman. This was a 10-year-old kid. His backpack brushed up against her and she called the police on him. Working as a home inspector or as a firefighter. Helping a homeless man deliver newspapers. Swimming in a pool. And other things. Driving with leaves on your car.
I saw that LeBron James issued a tweet which quite frankly must have been the dumbest thing I have ever read. The tweet was that we are literally, we meaning black people, we are literally being hunted as soon as we walk outside of our own homes. So this is either laugh out loud funny or really stupid. In my opinion, it's both. LeBron James doesn't even touch his own car door handles. LeBron James is currently building a multi-million-dollar, $100 million estate in Bel Air right now.
I'm sure that he does. But LeBron James, his lifestyle does not represent the entire black community. It represents a rich black man. It doesn't represent a poor black man or a middle-class black man. Doesn't represent those two. So your argument is flawed. Just because LeBron James has a lot of money and you're talking about all these great things that happen to him, doesn't mean that those things are happening to regular black people in this country.
So I finally look at the video. I'm expecting, based on all of the rhetoric, on all of the articles, which is saying that it's an example of a modern lynching, I'm fully expecting to see a video of a mob of white people, maybe with a rope, maybe with some guns, just marching down the street towards a black person so that they can kill him and make a mockery of him. That's what you should have expected based on the rhetoric that was perpetuating, and everybody was outraged left and right because of this 10-second clip. What I actually saw watching the video left me with more questions than answers. First and foremost, he was not being pursued in the video, obviously.
Okay, I just want to say this thing. She's not stupid. I know we're probably thinking, oh God, she's dumb as a rock. But she's not stupid. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's trying to use a lot of rhetoric, a lot of hyperbole, a lot of equivocation to try to confuse people. And Republican voters are easy to confuse. I'm sorry, they just are. And go see how many hits Rant Nation gets. I mean, those guys on there are crazy. And these people are constantly watching this show. Her too. Look at her hits. 2.7 million views is what she got. One of them was mine. But, you know, a lot of people gave comments. And if you look on there, you'll see like 94,000 remarks, and some of them are thumbs up. Some of them are thumbs up. So the point being is this, and there's some love ones and some heart ones. There are some mad ones, and they're probably all thinking the same thing. Now there's your thing. She loves to confuse, and it's easy to confuse a Trump voter.
It looked like he was running towards the car, and then when the two people who had guns, he went around and he attacked the person. So that actually left me with a lot of questions of like, what is going on in this circumstance? Who is recording this video? Because the person who was recording the video was obviously catching up to the situation. He hadn't been trailing this person.
He was not being pursued, even though there was a guy behind him with a camera pursuing him.
And I just wanted to know, how did everybody watch this 10-second clip and instantly think that this person was completely just a jogger who was being lynched? I don't even understand how that came across. Secondly, I noticed in the video and after reading reports that he's wearing khaki shorts.
So the guy in the back of the truck with a gun and the guy in the driver's seat with a shotgun, you didn't find that strange. But you found it strange that he was jogging with khakis? You know, a lot of people do different things with khakis. Some people fight with khakis. They choose to fight with khakis. Like this guy.
Coming after! Kevin Wilson! What are you going to do? Beat the crap out of him! And what are you going to wear? Jeans! No, khakis!
Couldn't resist. And there's more.
The media and everybody was issuing a verdict that this was some crazy situation where a couple of white people woke up and thought, you know what? Today, I want to lynch a black person. And I think this is the right guy. I see someone. Let's go for it. Let's get in our pickup bed and go find ourselves a black person.
And that's the thing. every time they have something like this and they want to make it sound ridiculous, they always seem to say, oh, I just woke up one day and just decided to do this. You know, that's not how it works. It's not about white people just suddenly waking up and deciding they want to do something like that. I just feel like killing somebody. That's not how they do it. What it is they normally have animosity toward a black person doing something that a white person normally does on a regular basis. It was like the thing with the lemonade, you know, calling the police on a child for selling lemonade or for selling bottled water, calling the police on a guy who's babysitting 2 white girls, calling the police, you know, some guy's waiting at, I don't know, what is it, Starbucks? Waiting at Starbucks for a friend. I've waited at Starbucks for a friend. They didn't call the cops on me. Same thing here. This guy was probably doing something that normal people do. Walk around and see a building being built. You go down and look, and guys are interested in stuff like that. I'm interested in stuff like that. When I see a new building come up, I go, hey, how's it going? You know, how's the framework working out? You know, what'd you decide to do? You know, I ask them questions like that. And usually what they do is they answer because they're proud of their work. And for that reason, we walk up and talk. Now, however, you know, if they see a white guy doing it, hey, it's okay. But black people can't do that. That's the problem. She can't get that. She can't get it because she's trying to sell the Republicans' view of it. She's trying to sell she's trying to sell to everybody that the Republicans are innocent and they've done nothing wrong. Now, the Republicans don't have anything to do with this. However, it's the reason why they're defending this is because the type of people that do these things are the same type of people that they are trying to appeal to, because those are the massive votes that they need to win an election. They don't give a rat's ass about these people. However, they do care about their vote. They care about your vote. They don't care about, you know, all this stuff that's going on. They're defending it because they want your vote. That's what she's doing. She's trying to keep, she doesn't want the black community to rise up and start voting against people. Because when that happens, we get like bad things like this. Now, to avoid that, you gotta defend it. You gotta calm. She's the voice of calm. She's trying to calm these black people down so they don't get out and vote. It's not about voter suppression. It's about keeping the right people from voting. It's about keeping the numbers of voters down. That's why you got to get out and vote.
The people that actually shot him had called 911. So for everybody that is saying that this person was, murdered, I can tell you right now, no matter how upset you are, this is not going to amount to a murder charge. The legal definition of a murder, you have to be able to prove that this was meditated, that there was some element of meditation. People do not call the cops before they murder someone. That is just not what somebody does. You don't pick up the phone and say, hi, 911, I'm about to go out and commit a murder.
It's okay. She's trying. You know? It's not meditated. It's when you're committing a murder, you don't meditate. It's a premeditated, is what she meant to say. Another thing to consider is it's possible it could be second degree, or it's possible that it could be first degree, because second degree is the definition of killing of another human being without premeditation, but with intent. Which means, they may look at it and say, hey, you brought the guns with you. Now, first degree, when you look at first degree, the difference between first degree and second degree is in first degree, you have the situation where you had time to think about it and you did not. If you had time to think about it, then that means it's premeditated. So that's why people say premeditated, you know, they plan it out. But sometimes first degree is like if I'm at my house and I decide to go and somebody, you know, someone took off running from my house and I decide I grab my gun and I go after them. Well, that is first degree murder because I decided to take my gun with me. I had time to think about it. And by having time to think about it, that's all it takes to make it first degree murder. But that all depends on the jury and how they interpret it. But to sit back and say that there are no elements of first degree or second degree in this at all, that's not true. Because you've got a chance to think about it before you get your guns and go get into the truck and drive up there. That makes it look like first degree murder. Even though there was an accident in the situation. They may say, well, there's no intent. Well, we didn't intend to kill him. Yeah, but you brought the guns. So it's up for the jury to interpret.